Welcome, everyone, to the Fans of the Band inside the Westlake Marching Band podcast. This is Tania welcoming you for our 13th episode. Isn't that awesome?
That is a lot more than I thought we would get through.
Right? So this is pretty fun today. We have reached basically the end of marching season for this fall. And we did have a guest kind of worked out, but what happened, Ayren?
I think sickness set in.
Yeah. So we were going to have a recap with Mr. Turpin, and he was unable to make our session. So today it's just Ayren and I talking about all things marching band, mainly things that Ayren saw with all of the different shows that she saw this year, because something happened and I didn't seem to see very many.
I think you went to New York.
Oh, maybe I did.
And I think you work.
I do work. That is true. So a couple of things got in the way. However, I'm really excited. I'm going to turn the tables on Ayren just a little bit. I have a set of rapid fire questions for her, and we'll see how she does in the hot seat.
I bet it's bad.
No, I think you're going to be amazing,
okay.
Actually.
I'm ready.
Remember, these are supposed to be just short answers, but if they seem to need a larger or longer answer, that's just because of the way I wrote it. So we'll see. Are you ready?
Okay.
Here we go. Where did you go to high school?
Great Bend High School in Great Bend, Kansas.
Were you in the band?
I was.
What instrument did you play?
Bassoon.
Where'd you go to college?
University of Kansas.
Were you in the marching band?
Not the marching band.
Okay. How many years have you been at Westlake?
Ooh, wait. 23.
Wow. I don't think I knew it was that many. See, now I just messed it up. How many years have you been involved with the Westlake Band program?
2.
How many years have you been a bird feeder?
2 official ones.
And then, did you ever chaperone for the band?
No.
Okay. That ends the rapid fire, and it's my fault because I started thinking. I'm going to go back to a question. I guess I was thinking Ellie was in the high school band.
No, Ellie was in the middle school band, and she was horrible flute player.
Okay.
And so she thankfully quit band and did art because she was a great artist.
For some reason, I thought she was in the high school band for a smidge of time or something. And so then that's why the couple of years I was like, huh? Okay, we're going to keep moving. So listeners, again, since I didn't seem to go to as many competitions this year and see lots of different bands, but Ayren did, I have a number of questions that I want to ask her for our conversation today so that we can talk about all the different kinds of things that she saw. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And listener, we usually give the questions to our guests ahead of time so they can see them at least a couple of days in advance. These are cold, Ayren hasn't seen these at all, so this will be even more fun. But she does have her notes because I
was taking notes at every competition that I went to.
So she's got them. So bear with us as she finds her information, because I know some of these questions are going to make her think, oh yeah, I saw this. And so she'll look. So the first thing I want to know, what show or shows really moved you this year? Gave you goosebumps or gave you some kind of emotional kind of movement?
I think my favorite show I saw like that was the Marcus Band.
And what was it about that show that really moved you?
They did Somewhere, Someday. And they had put these risers out and they had the band almost in a formal choir presentation on risers.
Really? The whole band?
Pretty much the whole band. And it was so formal and so great. And I love that piece.
Oh.
And I loved their colors. They were kind of rainbow iridescent risers that they used all over the field. And their costumes are so just plain. I just really liked their show a lot.
Oh, okay. You know what we might do? I was just thinking about it. Maybe these different ones that you mentioned, maybe we can find
and put links.
Yeah, and put a bunch of links in the show notes. That'll be cool. Okay. What music did you hear this year that really struck you or that you really were excited about, besides that piece you just mentioned?
Scheherazade. Robert did Scheherazade for, was it North Shore? And it was really, really good. I even texted him. I'm like, ooh, I loved that.
So
and
what was it about the arrangement?
Well, it was just really nice and it was super solid. And he actually used the brass feature was straight out of the piece. I was like, ooh, you didn't even have to write a new brass feature.
That's cool.
And then earlier in the day, there was another band that had used the bass line, bum, 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 ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. And so it was fun to see the two pieces used so very differently.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit more about music. What soloists or kind of instrumental features stood out to you? Did you say there was a tuba duet?
There was. Austin High had a tuba duet. And I love their tuba duet. And I think it was either Marcus or Flower Mound. And not musically, but they started with the tuba trio in a collage in the back. And I had to take a picture. And musically, it was the saxophone feature and the saxophone quartet out of Mo and Jean Johnson.
Yes. Of course, I just love that show, just completely, the Alebrijes. So, yeah, that was good, too. There was one band where it seemed like the sections, the different instruments were kind of in smaller groups. And then they played it was almost like section by section kind of.
Several bands did that. Several bands did that I saw over the season. I think Bowie did that very effectively. I think they were the ones, and I think that they ended up having the trombones going. And let's see. On Bowie, I said only 12 tubas with probably double the Cedar Park size band. Cedar Park had 12 tubas also. And I guess I thought Bowie, with their band being that much bigger than Cedar Park, should have had more than 12 tubas.
I wonder why they didn't.
I don't know.
But when
they had an English horn and bass clarinet duet.
That's nice.
That we hadn't seen earlier in the season. Then I'm trying to think which band it was at BOA. One of the bands had, talk about distance, they had their soloist on the stage at the front. And then they had a double soloist that was at the back of the field.
Oh, so they both played at the same time?
They handed it off and joined.
Oh, wow.
And it was so well done. I don't know how they could hear that well.
I don't know. I wonder how they did do that.
I don't know. I don't know which band that was. I might have been in state prelims. Some of my BOA things are missing. My notes are gone.
Oh, no.
That's okay.
But you went to BOA more than once, right?
Yeah,
so
but this was the prelims in San Antonio.
Okay.
Or maybe I just didn't see all of them.
I don't know. Okay. So one of the other things I like musically when I see a band is their first big hit and just being, I love it. I just love it when I can be blown away by the sound and just the whatever they're playing. I just love that part of a show. Was there a certain band or a certain show where you just loved their first hit that they had?
I am looking. Oh, I just found Marcus had the sousaphone trio in the back.
Okay.
Oh, I think that goes to Marcus for me too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they had a really nice opening and a slow opening as a soft build to a huge. I think Marcus was the winner for me this year.
It sounds like
even though
so far.
I think they took 6th at BOA Nationals behind Flower Mound and Woodlands and Reagan.
Well, I still have a lot more questions to go, so we'll see if Marcus ends up being in the answers for those as well. Okay, now I want to shift over to the front ensemble.
I want to tell you, one of the things I noticed is the front ensembles were not nearly as effectively used in most of the bands this year as they have been in the past.
Well, so that's kind of what I was going to ask you. Was there anything that caught your eye in regard to the front ensemble, or, because sometimes they do a lot of different kind of movement things or I don't know, but they were more sedate, kind of just sort of.
They were just kind of there. And I don't know if this was a Robert thing, but Westlake and Dripping Springs both had really big front ensemble features. And then there was one, they they backed their front ensemble back onto the field, and then
really?
they blocked them off.
Like they marched in front of them, or they
No,
had
they had those judge blockers.
Okay.
And they boxed them in with judge blockers.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was kind of fascinating. So
I wonder what that group or that band was thinking about to do that. Like, I wonder what the benefits are. That's interesting.
I don't know. I was thinking about Glenn Fugit telling us the judge blockers and they can only go so far onto the field. It's like, ooh, that kind of keeps the band further back there and the judges farther away from the band.
I know it does, doesn't it?
So
It sure does.
I thought that was an interesting use of their front ensemble.
Okay.
But all day at the state prelims, there were only maybe 4 bands that I felt really used there.
Front ensemble. Huh. Did you see any interesting, and so I guess this probably answers my question already, but did you see any interesting instruments in the front ensemble
So
that you don't normally see?
I didn't, there was one band, I think it was Pflugerville, that did a black and white, and they had dueling pianos. So they had a white grand piano box and a black one on the stage, and they had a black tuxedo and a white tuxedo, and then they swapped, and all their props were piano keys.
Oh, that's neat.
And then they turned them and they were colored. And so that was really fun. And their costumes were all black and white. I always think it's crazy when they bring grand pianos, even though they're just boxes with electric keyboards in them, but still.
Right. I would have liked to see that.
I think once again, it was the Marcus Band.
Marcus,
I
you're getting
think-
a lot of props here.
I know. I think when they were doing Somewhere, they had in between their judge blockers, they had like timpanis and gongs,
Oh, okay.
and their battery
Oh,
came off the field
really?
and played the timpanis and gongs across the front of the field.
That's neat.
So it was like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, not musically at all, but Pearland. Holy cow. They surrounded the field in those
nuts?
giant, like the entire field and end zone with those, what are those material of those?
Like the tarps or
Yes.
whatever. I can't even like fathom that. Like how many people would that be to cover the perimeter or to surround the perimeter? Of
I don't know, but
field?
Mark's first comment was, I hope their sponsor is a printing company because that's expensive.
Right?
And then I loved it. Brandeis and Pearland did this. Or was it Bridgeland? Let's see. Oh, I love this. My note on Bridgeland. Tiny little band. Never mind.
No.
It was a super clean opening with a flugelhorn solo. Oh, this is a nice comment for Bridgeland. I thought the ballad was a lovely brass chorale.
Oh, nice.
And then a big wow.
Oh, good. That's good. Okay, now I want to talk to you a little bit about movement. You know what I'm going to ask you about?
Did I see the special move?
I am going to ask you how many times do you think you saw it?
I did not see it very many times.
Wow.
I think the new special move.
That was my next question. Did you see a new movement or part of the show's choreography that you think is the next special move?
I did.
What is it?
I think it's their knees are bent, like
Okay.
that forced arch that we talk about, to one side.
Okay.
And then they do I only know this in ballet terms.
Okay,
They
do
do
it,
a
do it.
tendu where they put their leg out
Yes.
and then they draw it in
Yes.
and return to that double-legged, bent leg to one side.
Really?
Yes. I saw that so many times.
Really?
And then also, instead of swapping sides, it was an in and out. A lot of in and outs.
I did see the in and outs where it almost looked like you're knock-kneed, like you, right?
Yes.
Or kind of,
And I was cracking up because Austin High, they had that special move to the point that someone commented to me, they did the special move. And when
Right.
I watched them at BOA, I was waiting for it because I knew where it was. And they didn't do it. I guess they changed it.
They took it out.
They did.
So what do you think we should call this new move? The tendu? We can't really. Because that's already a
Yeah, no, I
ballet
don't know
move.
what to call it, but I kind of, every time it's the draw.
The draw. Yes, I can
They're
picture
drawing their foot in.
that. Yes, I can totally picture that. For some reason, and I'm sorry, Evan, but I can picture you doing that, Evan. I see it.
I
in my
think Westlake
head.
did it.
Maybe they did.
I think they did
Maybe
do
that's
that
why.
move.
We'll have to ask
There were a
them.
lot of bands that did that move.
In the recap, we'll have to ask Mr. Turpin.
Okay.
Because, yeah, that's so funny that, like, you knew what I was going to ask you. Okay. Now, I remember from a few weeks ago, I remember you remarking about how there was a movement that you saw that fit absolutely perfectly with the
Vandegrift.
music. Okay. So I just want you to tell the listener a little bit more about that, because that, to me, that's my ultimate goal. That's why, like, I had such issue with the special move in the first place, because it didn't feel like it fit. So tell us, how did it all fit together?
It was Vandegrift, and it was towards the end of their show, and it was almost a special move. It was the in and out.
Yes.
And it was like, bop, bop. I can't not remember what piece they were playing, but it was these two big pops right before the big finish. And they did pop in and pop out. And then they stood up and they finished the piece.
So maybe, listeners, if you could find a video of Vandegrift, you could email it to us at fansoftheband.whs, and then we could at yahoo.com, and then we could link it in our show notes. Of course, we could also look for it, but that would be so awesome if someone could send it to us.
Yeah, my notes from that competition were special move, inverted and used perfectly.
Love it.
Oh,
love
and
it.
they had a fabulous woodwind opening with the English horn.
I like the English horn a lot. I don't know why, but I would have liked to have seen
And they
that.
also did my favorite move, which is the full band front.
The company front.
Yes, I love that. They did it from the 5-yard line to the 5-yard line and like 3 rows deep.
That's
Maybe
awesome.
5 rows. It was a lot because they're huge.
Do you think you saw the company front, that kind of move? Did you
No.
see that with a lot of groups?
No.
I think that's kind of a thing that maybe people used to do quite a bit and they just don't do it as much anymore. But I think it really packs a punch.
I do too.
When bands do that.
I think it is one of my favorites.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to switch over to weapons and equipment. Are you ready?
Yes.
What types of weapons or equipment did you see utilized this season?
There were a lot of sabers. Round Rock, I think, had those sparks, their spark of interest, and they were skinny silver poles with like
a magic wand, kind of?
It looked kind of like a magic wand with like sparklers coming out of it, but they weren't light up sparklers.
Right.
And I never got to see their finished show, so I don't know what the big orange ball was for.
That's
And I
another
don't
question I have
And
later.
I don't know if they used their wands for anything in particular later in the show. So I only ever saw their first movement.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Pebble Beach, they had a flag section where they used transparent flags.
Like you could see through the...
Yes.
Neat.
And it really was a great effect.
Really? How did it change things? Like, what did it do?
I don't know. It was just, it kind of gave you a feeling of airiness.
Oh, okay.
And they were just these really floaty, transparent, like, netting or something that drifted nicely.
So you could see then the outline of the flag and sort of see through it?
Yeah, and they were a little bit metallic reflective.
Oh, okay.
They were really cool.
Ooh, I want to see those.
They were nice.
We're going to have to look them up also. Nice. Who do you think, maybe that group then, who do you think had the most impactful color guard?
That's a hard question because
I know.
I am really on the side. I do not like the ginormous color guards. Like, I feel like Reagan's color guard overpowers their band, even though their band is huge. I feel like there's just color guard everywhere. But they're good.
Right.
They're huge and they're good, so it's hard to say anything bad.
Right.
I just think there's too many.
Listener, we're not going to say anything bad. Don't worry.
But
Color
guard, I don't know. There were a lot of really just dead on color guards out there this year.
really? I mean, I know Westlake's color guard is pretty amazing.
The ones that had the heads. That was pretty cool. You were with me when we saw the band.
Yes.
They had the heads.
Yes. Oh,
That
my
sounds really
goodness.
gross, but
It really does, but like the severed head kind
Yes.
of thing. Yes. That was pretty neat.
I kind of
wasn't
liked
it?
the severed heads.
That was pretty cool. Like you just don't see that every day.
I was not prepared for
And
that.
who thinks of that? That's pretty impressive, creative,
The one that I did not like
Which one?
because it feels like it had to be so hard was Lake Travis's. They had those gold like I don't know what they were exactly, but they were poles with a gold leaf on them. Mm-hmm. And because nothing moved on them and nothing floated, there was so little room for any error.
And so the color guard folks were like,
yeah, they were using them instead of flags.
Oh.
And man, they just gave no room for error. Mm-hmm. They had to be, every single person had to be exactly right.
That seems hard.
And that's a lot of people to be exactly right.
Right. That seems very hard. Remind me, what was it that I know you told me this a couple different times, but what was it that you seemed to notice about when the color guard when they were spinning the rifles, right? It always seemed like somebody would unfortunately drop the rifle, but they were always in a certain place.
They were always in the center of the field, between the 45 and the 45.
That's unfortunate.
It's like nobody back there on the back 40 dropped anything. It was always someone right in the front.
Which is unfortunate because, you know that they feel so bad that they accidentally dropped their rifle or their prop.
I don't remember which
weapon.
Competition, and I don't remember which band, but I felt so badly for this girl. And I'm like, come on, get going, get back with it. You can do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I do want to talk to you about props. Are you ready?
Yes.
Did you see any unusual props this year?
They were school buses.
Oh, that's right.
And the taillights worked. And then they turned them around because they were going on a field trip. So they went on these different field trips. Mm-hmm. And when they went to the aquarium, there were octopus tentacles that came out.
Of the school bus?
Well, they had turned it around so it was an underwater scene. Mm-hmm. And they had these tentacles that were just moving all over around the giant rectangle.
That's cool.
I loved those tentacles.
I wonder if they could reuse those as something you could like spin.
I don't know.
That would be interesting.
Because they were big. Mm-hmm. They were big.
Okay.
So then I was reading on Facebook, someone had a stage out there. It's like, I think it was someone from Leander posted, I painted that best ever stage. So I love that they were reusing those.
I think it's fantastic that they're able to reuse things, right? Bands can just kind of pass them from band to band and reuse it for their shows. Did you see, it sounds like the school buses then transformed into an underwater scene. Did you see any other props transform from one thing to another?
Ooh, that's her question. I don't know.
The reason I'm asking you this is because with our own idea of the cake, I was thinking it'd be really impactful for it to start either as the cake and then transition to a stage or a stage into the cake or something, some kind of transition that people don't expect. So I was wondering if you saw anything similar to that this year.
Not that I can think of.
No?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I think it would be, but the more I think about it, I guess it might be hard to transform a prop, like you have them created for a certain thing or reason and maybe to,
just the fact that Flower Mound, no, it wasn't Flower Mound that did that school bus. That was Hebron.
Oh, okay.
Hebron did the school buses.
Okay.
But to turn a school bus around and turn it into an aquarium with tentacles.
Right.
I thought that was pretty good.
That is pretty impressive. What was the largest prop you did see? Was it the giant orange ball?
It was, that was the generically large, the singularly large one, but Pebble Hill, they came out and they set up like the entire field in this Amazon rainforest.
Really?
And they had rocks and they had like walls of fake rocks and waterfalls. And it was like so many props. And they were so many big props.
Really?
I was like, that is a lot of propage.
Right. And I do remember that the lighthouse from Hayes too.
Yes.
Right?
And they couldn't fit it through the fence.
I know. That's hard. I wonder how they did end up getting it through.
I think they showed it. They lifted it up and hoisted it over the fence.
Imagine? That's insane. Did you happen to notice if all of the bands followed their time limits? For example, did you see any bands not make it off the field in time?
I didn't time them, and it's not like they announced it disqualified.
That would be the worst if they did do that.
But not that I know of. But there were a couple of bands that were hustling.
Did you cheer for them?
I didn't because, I was usually in the center field, and they were so far down there in the Alamo Dome.
Maybe one year we can sit right on that end and just be the cheering squad for them.
Every
Job
time.
well done.
Yay!
You made it off the
Fabulous
field.
exit.
Yes.
I did actually cheer for one because, man, I didn't know if they were going to make it. They were running those. They were parents out there, and they were not runners.
Did you see, wasn't it last year that someone accidentally threw up and then they had to stop
Yes.
competition? Did you see any kind of
No stoppage
malfunction
for
or
any of that.
anything?
The only stoppage, I don't think there was anything like that this year that I saw.
Well, good. I'm glad everyone stayed well and hydrated and
Man.
ready to perform or okay to perform. Here's my next question for you. Do you prefer watching UIL competition or BOA? Or is there even a difference for you?
There's not really a big difference. But it felt like UIL, the bands just kind of started when they were ready. And then they would here's an announcement. So you couldn't hear anything that was happening on the field. Like Westlake had a bad problem in their opening, and I didn't even hear it.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So, because they were just talking, and it's like, oh, okay. And Evan's like, we had a tear, and I was like, well, what? I didn't.
Yeah, what?
A tear of the band was separated.
Okay.
So, it was a really hard day for them.
That is hard. Especially when you work, you have this goal and you've been working toward it for months.
Yes, it was a really good thing for them that they had BOA after that, because it would have been a really sad ending for their season.
Right? So, yeah. So those are actually all my questions for you.
So you've asked me a lot of questions.
I know.
But I want to talk about some other bands that didn't really fit into those questions, because there were some really fun shows out there.
Well, let's hear it.
So I want to also say that I only was at one day, and I didn't even see the evening of the state finals prelims or the state prelims for 6A.
Right.
And I only saw a few bands at BOA. So I just wanted to say some good things about the ones that I did see.
Let's hear it.
It's funny, for as much as I go to hear the bands, I have a lot of notes about color guard.
Isn't that interesting? But I really feel like the color guard makes such an impact. They really draw your eye.
Yes.
So of course, I feel like you should have a lot of notes.
And then I wanted to talk about Westlake because, of course, I love the Westlake show. And I'm a little biased towards Westlake.
Yes, of course.
But I really did like the look of the Westlake show with their gray and those bright orange-red color guard outfits.
Yes.
As I was scrolling through my pictures, it looks so sharp. And I really liked the aggressiveness of their show this year, because last year they had that little mellow lotus flower yoga type show. And this year was anything but that.
Right. Completely different. So, yeah, they were
And
great.
I really loved the ending of the Westlake show. So I wanted to say that because I felt like, since it's inside Westlake Marching Band.
Which is funny because I'm not certain that we mentioned Westlake at all, in
Earlier
this
in
podcast.
this.
Yeah, earlier.
I don't think so, but I did want to make sure I did say that. Then LD Bell had this show, The Longest Night, and they started with these white trees that were all the branches had been cut off, and it was such a different feeling after Westlake's. It was so kind of haunted, The Longest Night, and
I don't think we've talked about this show.
we haven't talked about it at all.
I don't think so.
And there were so many blue and white and blue and silver shows. It was, I guess it's because that's school colors too.
Right.
But their show, I really enjoyed it. And even though it was kind of haunting.
Was it haunting the whole time? Did the trees change?
No, but you know what they did do?
What did they do?
They marched in backwards.
What do you mean?
They were facing the back.
Okay.
And they marched towards the front.
Oh.
So you knew it was coming. You knew the big hit was coming. And then just whoom. And then they turned around and it was just huge.
That's cool.
So it was super, super effective, I thought.
Yeah, that's neat.
And then let's see. We had Rockwell. Mm-hmm. I'd never heard of Rockwell either, but they're up in the Dallas area, but
I don't think I've
further
heard
out.
of them either. Mm-hmm.
But they did like old school uniforms. They had these cream pants, and I don't know, from where I was sitting, it looked like they had orange Letterman sweaters on.
Really?
And I couldn't zoom in my picture because I have an old phone. But
okay.
it was so nice, and they used the S curves a lot.
Really?
Instead of like straight angular things. And it was just really a nice, like, old school show. And they really played into that.
Nice.
So then, they did a great band opener of a turn, step out to a 45. And then they just opened up their horns.
Okay.
It was like they were standing and the whole band stepped out at a 45-degree angle with their foot. And then they just start playing. And it was like, that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun and cool. And then Reagan, I told you I thought it was Bowie that had the in the trombones, but I think that turned out to be Reagan. And then I loved the Hebron buses, and I also had said that was where Flower Mound, but Flower Mound did a Picasso show.
Right.
With a costume change into the, like, super colory things, but their props were cool. Their props, because you'd ask me about props.
Right.
And their props were like pieces of, like, a lip or an eyebrow.
Oh, really?
And, like, they were out there twirling, like, this white thing, and you're like, what is that?
What is
that?
Is
it a lightning rod? I don't know what these things are. And then they brought them together.
All together?
And they made a Picasso face.
That's neat, right? To have the different parts and then coming together to kind of form the bigger picture.
And the funniest, my favorite part, though, is when they were interviewing the band person or drum major. I don't remember which they had at the end. Our show is based off of an artist, a man named Picasso.
As if people didn't know who Picasso is.
Like, everybody around me started cracking up.
Right.
I thought that was hilarious. And then Edinburgh. Edinburgh had this super little jazzy show, and it was so much fun. It's like when the circus came to town. And they did the can-can. Bum, 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 bum.
Were the color guard folks actually doing the can-can? Because that would have been amazing.
They did not, actually.
Too bad.
I know.
But still, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and then I was like, they had the tiniest little brass section, and they used them so well.
And that kind of reminds me of earlier in the season when we were talking to the BOA judge, Glenn Fugit, about, the size of the band and does it matter, like in terms of, how well a band does and all that kind of thing. And I remember him saying that, no, like there are smaller bands that, if they do things well, then they're going to be really good.
Well, so Glen High School was a good example of that. They had this dot theme. And they all started on a big dot in the center, and they just made dots all over. And there were just so many dots. And they were really good. And they were a tiny, tiny little band.
Really?
I don't know what classification they are, but
and that,
it was small.
Was that at BOA then?
Yes.
That you saw them? Okay.
But they sounded really good, too. And they were really small. And then Cedar Ridge had that Beholder. And I was kind of creeped out by their eyeballs, their red eyeballs.
Oh, yes.
But, I mean, the music was good, but the eyeballs kind of freaked me out.
I thought it was interesting that initially when you sent me the picture of what were the eyelashes, right? That they really did look like shark fins if you had no context.
That's exactly what I thought they were.
Right. And then, I guess another picture you sent me finally looked like the students were formed the actual eye, and then they were the eyelashes. So then it made complete sense.
It was super thematic throughout the whole thing, but I still just didn't like the eyeballs.
Did you feel like the eyeballs were staring at you?
They were red, and they just looked like bloody eyeballs. Like, when you see like panther eyeballs in the dark in movies.
Okay.
That's all I was about to say.
I've never seen a panther's eyeballs in the dark, but then
in
you
cartoons.
said in movies. Yes.
They kind of reminded me of those. I was like,
Yes. Okay.
So Permian had never been there before.
Never been to
I think
BOA,
it
or was that BOA or
Permian.
state?
I think it was state. It was either Permian or Clements. One of them had never ever been to the Alamo Dome for BOA or
wow.
state.
That's great.
I don't
that they
remember
were
which
there.
one it was, but that was like super
Yeah.
exciting to see a band like at that level for the first time.
Right.
So-
To have reached that level. That's
You
pretty
just
awesome.
wanted to cheer so hard for
Right?
them.
I bet you did too, right?
And then Forney High School,
Uh-huh.
they did this cowboy theme.
Uh-huh.
And it was really cute. They actually had like their props were like a storefront and a little bar thing.
I feel like last year somebody also had like a storefront or saloon or something. Was it Brandeis last year?
Oh, I don't remember.
We'll have to look back.
This is kind of funny because one of the things I remember most about their show,
Uh-huh.
well, they wore different colored dress shirts with vests over them. And so,
Okay.
like the band, there were green and blue and burgundy dress shirt, long sleeves.
Right. Okay.
So I thought that's kind of neat that no one was exactly the same.
Right.
But in their color guard, they had like a couple different groups, and they
Uh-huh.
had a couple of the girls out there in their black pants and black tops, and they had the white fringe down the sides.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
And they
so
totally
much.
knew how to dance and use that.
Oh, I need to look that up then, because yes, I would enjoy that.
It was fun. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
are they not going to use flags or anything? Are they just going to dance? I don't even care.
Right? That's
Because it
great.
was just so much fun.
Right?
But Klein Oak.
Mm-hmm.
Klein Oak High School.
Mm-hmm.
They had this cutest little toy theme. They had a Rubik's Cube out there that they used on this as a stage.
Did it change?
They did not.
no. Okay.
It opened and it did things, but it didn't like rotate.
Got
but
it,
they
got
had.
it.
Have you seen those Barbie boxes that you can
Yes.
get in and pretend
Yes.
you're a doll?
Yes. Did they
They-
do that?
They did. They had like 4 of
Ah.
them, and one of them, Barbie got out and started dancing and
Really?
running around the field. But I love their opening. Their
Mm-hmm.
opening was my favorite. They were in like a fleur-de-lis type shape.
Okay.
And then they had these props that were like paper doll cutouts, like life-size, big, huge paper doll cutouts. And then the opening, the band, before their big hit, they kind of just marched and morphed a little bit.
Okay.
And then when you looked, they had made a paper doll.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then they put the paper dolls away and we never saw them again.
Well,
I
but
really
they
liked
probably
them.
made other things.
Yeah, but I love the
You
paper
like
doll
the
props.
paper dolls.
I thought they were fun.
Oh, nice.
And then they played Claire de Lune, you know. Bum,
Yes.
bum, 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 bum. And that was kind of really pretty.
I bet it was. Sounds good.
And then Clements came in, excuse me, Clements came in with their Bartok ballet.
Nice.
Bartok, I don't know if you know, but Bartok is a little bit
Yes.
edgy sounding, even in the classical world. So that was really kind of fun. And I felt like their show, The Paranoid Android.
That's an interesting name for a show.
Yeah, but music wise and performance wise, I felt like they were the closest one to Westlake
Oh, okay.
that I saw. And then Cypress Woods. I really liked the Cypress Woods show. They played Rachmaninoff's Second Symphony,
Uh-huh.
and they just used different parts of it.
Right.
It would have
Okay.
been funny to me if they'd only used the second movement.
That would have been
Because
actually
their
really
whole
awesome.
show was about twos.
Uh-huh.
And they had these big giant two props. And they had them painted on both sides, and then they would turn them, and then they made hearts with them.
Okay, so now that you say that, that makes me think of my social media feed, because there's a girl that I went to high school with, right? And her daughter, I believe, must be at Cywoods, because I remember seeing pictures of the twos kind of in that heart shape. So shout out to Sarah Eastwood. That's super exciting that I didn't get to see the show. I'm sorry I didn't, but Ayren did. And she was super excited and impressed, which I know y'all were excited about. So,
And I thought it was really nice
Yeah.
because they had a clarinet duet. They came and they went, and they came and they went. And they were like their feature here and there and everywhere.
that's really cool.
I kind of liked that.
I mean, it's too bad it wasn't saxophones, but
You know, it is, or
I know.
tubas.
I'm prejudiced. I know. But yes, that's awesome.
So that was really fun. And Prosper, I wish that I'd had binoculars
Why?
because I could not tell what their uniforms were. It was
Really?
like
What do you mean?
Well, they had these ships in the back.
Okay.
And then they had, it must have been like their JV kids, like just hanging out and lounging on the ships.
Okay.
And the color guard was in all yellow, and the band was in this brown, and it looked like it was furry.
Oh.
So I really don't know what they were in, but I was like, all I could think of is, are they fur traders?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I never really quite got that.
I don't know, but it makes
It was
me...
called the Odyssey. So I
Okay.
don't know what the costumes exactly were.
I don't know, but now that you mention like brown furry things and then yellow, that makes me think of like monkeys and bananas, but I'm sure that has nothing at all to do with it.
No, it really was
Right.
Odyssey, and they had a little battle out there
Oh, really?
on the field.
Yeah,
The color guard was
neat.
battling, and this cracks me up. This note that I wrote
Uh-huh.
that they had a trumpet lift. They literally lifted the trumpet player up,
Okay.
and then they followed it with a back up and run.
Oh,
But then I wrote, not the baby lift.
okay.
Like, not the no one puts baby in a
Yes,
corner lift.
yes. Oh,
Could you imagine the trumpet player run and jump and play in the baby lift?
that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
That would be fun. That's not what they did, but it cracked me up
But
thinking
I'm just
about
saying, if somebody did that, would they have to wear some kind of harness?
that. No,
be
they wouldn't be
tethered
over
in
6
some way?
feet unless it was a gigantic person lifting them.
Right, right.
And they had this kid up at least, on their like a
Yes.
cheerleader lift.
Sure.
So
Now I can picture that. Now it would be really, I'm thinking it'd be awesome if we had the baby lift somehow in the same show with our
the
birthday cake or
Oh,
our
yeah.
cake. Yeah.
and then the last band I saw that day was Dripping Springs.
Uh-huh.
And Dripping Springs, they just sounded amazing, I thought.
Yes. I remember seeing them. I don't remember at where or what, but I'm pretty sure I did see their show.
It made me sad though because they also had a clarinet quartet just like Westlake.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh man, I hate it when the shows do exactly the same type things. I kind of was like, why couldn't they do a saxophone quartet
Right.
or, anything other than a clarinet quartet?
Right.
Not that I'm
Yeah.
protective of the Westlake show,
Not at all.
But-
Not at all. Not at all. Right.
but my favorite part about the Dripping Springs in their props
Uh-huh.
out, I don't know, in the middle of the field,
Right.
they had all these like things set up
Okay.
and it had a sign.
Yeah.
Look here.
Oh, and so did you?
And it had arrows.
Okay.
And they had their xylophone soloist out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
But you couldn't really see him because he was kind of hidden in the props. Like he
Uh-huh.
was in a window,
Okay.
a store window or something.
Uh-huh.
I love the sign that said, look here, with arrows pointing at the percussionist.
So, was the sign up the whole time?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're like looking there, what am I seeing?
You're like, wait, did I miss it? Is it there? That's funny. That's
So-
great.
I thought that was fun. I like that. I think I sent you a picture of that. Dripping Springs helping us out.
I think you did. Yes. I think you did. That's funny.
So I just wanted to talk about some of the things I really liked about some of those bands.
Yeah. And that's really exciting. Like, we've followed the Westlake Band. Of course, we love the Westlake Band and their show this year. But it's also really, I don't know, really neat that we can still find all these great things that we've seen in all these other bands. So
It is. It's fun to see the other bands and
Right?
say, oh, that is such a great thing. And I love this about them. And
I just like all the creativity.
I know.
I mean, all the people that come together to think of all the different shows and all the different parts. And then the students, of course, spending hours and hours and hours working as a team to put it all together. It's just fascinating. It's great. It's amazing.
I thought it was funny, Evan, when I told Evan that we were talking about the bands, he goes, you didn't say anything bad, did you?
No, we usually don't,
I'm like,
Evan.
I don't
We
think
don't
so.
say anything bad.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, I said, I thought that there was a lot of color guard in the Reagan band, but the band was so good and the color guard
Right.
was so good.
Right.
And then I think now then
course.
that I still don't know what the Prosper costumes were.
Uh-huh.
But that's just me really wondering, what were they? Because I
Right.
couldn't see that far in my phone. My phone made them even look furrier than my eyes.
Maybe a listener can send us some pictures or something, right? That would be good.
That would be good because I'm
to
I'm
look it up.
super curious because I can't imagine they were out there in furry vests.
No, I think that would be too hot. That would be too much.
Especially, in their first shows in September. Can you
Correct.
imagine them in fur pants and vests?
No, I cannot. I mean, I can imagine, and I think that would be kind of cool, interesting, right? But
kind of gross by the end of October.
right, I think so.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I thought that was funny. I was like, you didn't say anything bad, did you?
Of course not. No, we wouldn't do that.
I'm like, no, I took notes about all the things I really loved about the shows.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
just because I like Westlake doesn't mean I can't like other ones.
That's right. That's right.
So,
yeah. So, in thinking on the season, if we talk about our podcast a little bit, I was trying to think about kind of, the most surprising thing that I learned, maybe, and I really couldn't pinpoint it because we learned so many different things about all the different little aspects and things that go, into making the band what it is. And so I got to thinking about it today that really, we've heard over and over how the band is a community and that, it's this really close community and everyone works well and you learn how to work with all these different people. And I was thinking that really that applies not just to the students that are in the band, but then also to all the adults, because there's so many just different facets, so many adults who have their strengths, in one area, like in fundraising, for example, which wouldn't be my strength.
Not mine either. But thank goodness Miss Gio has that.
Right. But then everybody does it seems pretty seamlessly working together, So I just thought that was really neat.
They do pull together well.
Right.
And the chaperones, man, they work hard and
they do.
And they had their band coming for Westlake because they missed homecoming for marching contest. And, the parents all pulled together and then they had Halloween. They had trunk or treating because they had a football game on Halloween. Mm-hmm. So they set up in the parking lot and the kids got to trick or treat along the cars. And
so that's really great that they don't miss out on the other, kinds of things that happen because they're doing all this extra. Right. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I have to tell you, though, I think I learned the most talking to John Pearson.
And tell me why.
Because he had all the information and all those rules, and I didn't read a rule book. I'm not going to sit down and read a rule book.
No,
just tell them to me. And all the stuff about the props and, I was talking, was it you? I said, you asked me how big something was. I was like, they would have had to have been tethered for a marching band. Now it's like a reference point.
I know, right?
It's like, oh, yeah, that's tethering height. And how big can things be and how much time do you have? And it made watching competitions so much more entertaining. Like when Brandeis and Bridgeland or Pearland, whichever one had those big tarps, those kids, Brandeis' taking of the field this year was one of my favorite things I've ever seen. Those kids, they had these big tarps that they were carrying, and those things are heavy.
Right.
And there were probably, 15, 16 kids carrying it, and 2 sets of them on either side of the front and the back of the field sprinted 100 yards with that thing, set those things up, and they got ready and played.
And then, to me, it's even more mind-boggling that after the performance, when you've given it your all, you've got to be tired, right?
Yes.
Then you only have that 2 minutes to get everything up and off. That's incredible, too.
Yeah, the band that had the big tarps down there in San Antonio, they had to sprint those things off. Mm-hmm. But Brandeis' sprinting them on was so dramatic because it was like the first thing you see. And that's sad that that's like one of my favorite things. But it was I took a video because it was like, to sprint 100 yards is one thing.
Right.
To sprint 100 yards holding a tarp is another. And to sprint it holding a tarp with 16 people.
Right.
It was really fun.
Sounds really impressive. So way to go, Brandeis.
I was really kind of sad that they didn't come to BOA at a time when I was there because I was ready to see that again.
We'll have to find a video of that too. I'm sure it exists.
I also want to tell you, remember I told you I loved McCallum's show?
Yes. Yes.
So they really got it cleaned up. And they actually went to state.
That's right.
In 5A. And they were at BOA, so I saw their finished show. And I loved it still.
Good.
It was those purples and pinks and it was a really nice show.
It's making me so sad that I missed all of them. So I feel like next year what I'm going to have to do is like actually plan out already way far in advance the days I'm going to take off
There you go.
so I can attend.
I'll have to do that even though I don't have a kid in it next year.
I know. We're still going to have to. I mean, I haven't had a kid in it for a while.
Oh, and I was thinking, you know what? For the tubas entering out of the cake,
Yes.
we could totally play Romeo and Juliet from Prokofiev.
Okay.
Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum,
Yes.
ba-dum, bum, bum,
Yes.
ba-ba-da-dum.
I love that. I
This-
love that idea so much. Right?
I think that would be fun. I just thought about that. I had to share that.
No, I think that's good. Okay, Kevin, if you're listening, Ayren and I are we're going to work up a solid plan, and we're going to see how many band directors will be interested in our show. That
There we
come
go.
up. I know. It's going to happen.
We're going to morph from podcasting to show design.
I mean, you never know. You never know. We didn't know that we'd have the podcast this long.
That's true.
what would happen?
Someone told me today about the podcast. They asked if we could do Zoom, and I was like, not yet. We haven't had time.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, we kind of started this. He goes, yeah, it was more like a ready, fire, aim. I was like, absolutely it was.
That's okay. That's all right. We've had fun.
We've
'Cause
had so much fun.
I will say, I mean, we say it every time that's for our own entertainment. I have been thoroughly entertained.
I've had so much fun talking about
Right?
things and talking to people. And I've just been cracking up how the band directors and band people, they don't even care how little our podcast is. They're like, sure, I want to talk about band.
Of course.
Let me talk about band.
Of course, right?
Oh, which makes me want to mention,
Oh, what is it?
have you seen, we have someone from Singapore that downloads like every show.
Who is that?
I have no idea.
It'd be
But-
awesome if they would reach out to us.
That's right. How many times have we been asked, who's your audience? And I kind of wanted to mention our audience. We really don't know because there's someone in California and Gardenia. I
They're all
don't know
over the
how
place.
it's said. And like there's somebody in Florida and there's people in Pennsylvania and Oregon. There are people all over that seem to be listening to our show. And it makes me laugh.
I know, right? Maybe
Not laugh at you for listening, but
no.
it makes me laugh because we actually hoped that just our husbands would at least listen.
Yes, we kept the bar very low, right?
Yes.
Because again, it was for our own amusement.
Yeah. And I would have put
Entertainment.
just as much into it if it had only been 10 people.
Right. I would too.
So
Yeah.
thank you, everyone, for downloading and listening and encouraging us in that way.
We do really appreciate it. And so we are going to have a next season, aren't we?
We plan on having a
Yeah.
next season, yes. And if you have anything you'd like to hear about next season, you should email us.
Or if you think there's a specific band that we should feature or speak with folks from that band, please email us. Again, the email address is fansoftheband.whs@yahoo.com.
And our next podcast will either be some students, because we're going to talk to a few more students and drop those here and there. Hopefully it'll be Mr. Turpin.
Hopefully so.
Once we get past Thanksgiving, I'm in my really busy playing season, so I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we'll see.
Hang in there, listeners. We'll be back to entertain you.
That's right.
All right.